Hi, JJ.
How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. How about you?
I'm very well, thank you. Welcome to the show and good evening, everyone. Regal Life Series is a weekly live series that aims to enable coaches to build a prosperous coaching business by becoming the best coaches that they can be. Regal Unlimited is a leadership development company that has over a decade of excellence in disrupting leadership development through coaching and coach training. In this edition of Regal Live series, we have Anu Venugopal with us. It was a rainy morning of November 23, and I was at the IIT Research Park in Chennai. When I first saw Anu, it was day one of our ICF coach training journey. As I sat down slowly, observing my cohort, I clearly remember how Anu looked at me and gave me a warm smile. And it instantly warmed me up, warmed my heart. And I knew I found my partner in crime. A pragmatic leader with over 28 years of experience in strategic global roles, Anu is an effective leader and an influencer who chose to become a coach with an intent to give back to the world by helping others explore their highest potential. She is an ICF credentialed life and leadership coach. And today we will talk about the importance of rigor to getting credentialed. Anu, welcome to the show. And could you please tell us? I know that congratulations on your ICF credentialing. I know that you've just gone through a very rigorous practice of coaching and credentialing to become an ICF credentialed coach. So, could you tell us what were some of the most significant challenges that you faced during your training journey and how did you overcome them to achieve success?
First of all, thanks, JJ, to for having me on the show. And yeah, it's been one heck of an incredible journey. So challenges, I think there were quite a few of them, but let me kind of segregate them into external challenges and internal challenges. External challenges, I think I was going on a roller coaster ride in my life. Shifting my residence, my mom's health. I think it was one of those things where whatever could go wrong did go wrong through this journey, and all of them were beyond my control. But I kind of uh, managed to navigate through all of those things thanks to the cohort that we all were. But then I think one of the other things in which I think was which I never I never gave much of significance to was the internal challenges. I think there's a lot of times that I thought through this journey that no, I cannot do this. This is requiring too much of my time. I need to do a whole host of other things. I need to manage my life, settle down in the new place, take care of health. I just cannot do this. Or sometimes there would be that voice somewhere in my head which would say that you are not cut out for this, this, you just cannot get this done. So there would be those moments of nervousness, and then there would be those other kind of chatters as well, that is this really what you want to do? I mean, you want to study at this age? So those were the internal challenges, and by far the biggest ones. I think I think what I did well in hindsight was the fact that I think I used our cohort very well, and I used the fact that I think Subhash and Swami had said, bring real life problems to your practice sessions. I think I really bought some real life challenges there. So I think anything that came up for me, I brought that out as the topics for coaching. I think that's something that worked really well for me. I spent a lot of time on my own in those months. I think, given the fact that I was in a new place, I didn't have a lot of community in that sense from a location, but it gave me a lot of time for self reflection. Some of it was really difficult, but I think, thanks to a whole lot of support available from, and I think I'll keep parroting this, my cohort. I think it really helped. asking for help when needed. I think that was something that's a very new space for me. So being vulnerable, when I really was going through my lowest times, I did ask people to help me. And even if it meant that I had to ask them twice, thrice, and nobody's ever said no to me for that. Um, I think the other one is no matter what has happened, I think I have showed up and I have practiced. There have been times that I have lagged behind, and then my peers, they have kind of checked in on me and asked me, "Hey, where are you? Do you need any help?" I think there was a period when I was moving my location, and I was trying to settle down, and I was way behind in terms of clocking my hours, and you know uh, and I had messed up my calendar. I still remember that I had messed up my calendar, and then I sent out a note to all of you and said that, "Hey guys, I've really messed up my calendar. Give me a couple of days. I'll set it right." And everyone came back and told me, "Okay, just let us know what you need, and we'll be there." And people have been there at all kinds of hours to support me uh, in order for me to clock my hours. So I think, like I said, external and internal challenges, and through that, what has really helped me is being resilient, and continuing to focus on what is important, which was this, getting up to the credentialing space, asking for help when I needed it. And I think another one that I want to call out is that, and which has really helped me in the credentialing, is that I continue to practice even after 100 hours. After 100 hours, I didn't say that I'm done, but I have continued to practice to do reciprocal coaching, as well as, the few clients that I have, used that to help me get through the credentialing.
That's fantastic to hear, Anu. So, once again, having seen you through this journey, the ups and downs of this journey that you've gone through, it is incredible, the height that you have achieved. And, being someone who has, gone through all of these ups and downs and yet kept up with the practice, right? In what ways did being part of this cohort or community of like minded individuals, you just mentioned that your cohort was supportive, adjusting to the schedules, and but your resilience also continued to be there in terms of continuing to practice, learn, study in spite of what was going on in your life, the changes that was happening in your life. So how can other people, you mentioned about the community support that you're receiving, how can other people really leverage a supportive network for achieving their goals of credentialing?
So I think I'll probably talk about what's really helped me, and if people resonate with that, then that's great. I think I'm a very community person. In the sense that I reach out to people. I love meeting people. I love speaking to people, and whenever I've got stuck, I would probably ask Subhash, Swami, okay, what should I be doing? And they'll connect me to others. So I have spoken to Rekha, I've spoken to Subramani, I've spoken to Anuradha from the PCC batch, Meena, she was my mentor. She's kind of really helped me in a lot of spaces. I've reached out to Priya Sundaram at one point in time, who was a mentor for my second call recording, and have had random conversations, not random, but in the context of coaching. But whenever I felt stuck, I have realized that this community is way beyond just my cohort. My cohort is damn important to me, and they are my lifeline. But I think this is far more wider, and I have kind of unabashedly gone and spoken to people, introduced myself, and said I need help, and people have helped me. And this is not just for credentialing, but it is also for when I'm coaching clients. It's a new territory for me. I don't have all the answers, and I find it absolutely um, there's a sense of freedom that I feel in being myself and telling people that, hey, I need help, and people have helped me. This could be for a workshop that I needed to do for one of the clients, or it could be from a I think there were a couple of times when I felt that I was not ready for the credentialing. I was really scared that, what if I don't pass? What if I fail? And I did speak to people about it, that listen, this is where I am. Can you help me with the session? And people have, so that's one. Second, I think there's a wider resource. I mean, I think there are lots of these the little thing, the Mensa Live that Subhash hosts. Then there are some of the other external speakers who come in, and the coaching week. I think I attended whatever I could, and you get snippets of it, and I was surprised how some of that kind of helped me through my credentialing, because people talk about real life scenarios, they talk about some of those things, and when I attended, I didn't think that it's going to help me in credentialing. I just attended from a sheer interest perspective. So I think what I'm trying to say is community is far bigger, and I think there are so many people in this community, um, that you can reach out to whoever you want to, and I think there's always somebody on the other side who's willing to help, because I think that's the ethos that I think coaching carries, and I think that's the ethos that each of the people in this community carry.
Wonderful. Anu, I can totally relate to what you are saying. People whom we can reach out to in the community when you need support, when you need coaching, and that numerous hours of coaching that really brings the cohort together. And you always feel like, no matter what challenge it is, that we can, resolve that and move forward with whatever goals that you want to achieve in this journey, right? And I just want to know, you mentioned about the cohort, which is like damn important, is the word that you used, which is close to your heart, right? How did this particular cohort, and probably the immediate extended cohort, right, whom we did a lot of coaching hours with, how did they play a crucial role in your preparation for uh, credentialing? What are some of the specific resources or encouragement that you received from this cohort or community of mentors and coaches that you worked with?
Yeah, so great question. So JJ, I think our cohort probably was one of those once in a lifetime cohort where we all kind of got along. We were like thick as thieves, right? I think we supported each other. Like I mentioned, when anyone in the cohort was, falling off the radar, or, being a little quiet, I think we kind of lifted each other up. And I was no different in that sense. I think there have been times when I was not at my best game, and this cohort is who's come together. Um, I've had, I've made calls to our cohort at, and kind of demanded that I have a coaching session. And I think that only happens when there's that kind of cohesiveness. I know Venkat is someone that I've called up at, given him 1 hour's notice, and I said, hey, 9, can you meet me? I need to have a coaching session on this one because it's driving me up the wall. And he's like, yeah, all right, okay, I'll reach and I'll ping you. So there's been that. JJ, you and I have had many sessions. I mean, I can name each and every person, be it Divya, Ranjini, Mohanupriya, all of them. I think the absolute bonding that we have, it has really, really helped me. And I think the beauty of this cohort is that it's not just about the 100 hours of practice. I think we challenge each other as well. It is not. It's gone beyond just being nice to each other. It is pushing each other to get credentialed. It is saying that, okay, what's stopping you? How can we help you? And so on and so forth. So that's absolutely, I think, one of the most important support systems that I've had through credentialing. What also helped is when we kind of decided that let's study together, let's pick up a topic each and teach the rest of the cohort. I think there's nothing like teaching back, which helps to retain information. And whatever I taught back, I kind of retained it pretty much. So I think that really hugely helped. Um, I think in terms of a lot of others that I had been speaking to, Ajish, Geeta, Ashish, I think they all have played a part, in having those regular conversations, reciprocal coaching, and then, kind of just talking about, okay, so hey, where are you at this? Are you going to be submitting your third recording? What's stopping you from submitting? Would you like a session on that? So, it was kind of that, it really helped to continue that momentum into credentialing. And then, of course, there are, people like, uh, Subhash, who very unintrusively kind of say, okay, what's happening with credentialing? I think that kind of, nudges you a little bit. And, speaking to some of my mentors, I think, be it Rekha that I had a session with, or with Meena. Meena is somebody who's my go-to person. If whenever I feel stuck on something, I'll pick that up in one of my regular coaching sessions with Meena. So I think all of them have played their role in pushing me forward, and continuing. See, the recall is very strong, that you have to get credentialed. So there are various things along the way. I mean, you can have, there would be periods when you're not so focused on that, but there'll be some reminder that will come in from any of these places. And some of them are just, I think, having a cohort who support you is really, really very crucial. At least for me, it was.
Absolutely. I totally agree with you when you say the journey together, right? They say that if you want to go faster, you walk alone, but if you want to go far, you walk together. And that's really what I'm hearing from what you're saying, Anu. From whatever that you spoke so far, what stands out for you really when you think about this whole journey that we started probably 8 or 9 months ago? What really stands out for you throughout this journey?
I think it takes a lot of, there can be a lot of distractions that come your way. Um, like I said, whether that is external or internal, they'll always come. There'll always be that, internal naysaying, that, hey, no, maybe this, maybe that. But I think it's, if you are focused, and if you can keep bringing back the focus, I'm not saying that you have to be focused throughout, but if you can keep bringing back the focus about why did you first get into this, what made you get into this. And I think the second one for me is that maybe having a bit of faith in yourself, saying that, hey, you've come this far, you know you'll get through this. And I think the third thing is, as I was giving my exam and I was really nervous, I was like, okay, what's the worst that can happen, that I'll not clear. I'll come back and do another round. um, but it's also about enjoying that journey a little bit. Like, I think first 10 questions I didn't get in. I was thinking, okay, I'm not getting this right. And then at some point in time I laughed. I said, okay, let me at least enjoy giving the exam. um, so that helped. So I think those were some of the best things: enjoying the journey, bringing the focus back, and and then I think just achieving something always gives you a bit of a booster shot.
Absolutely. And here you are, you passed with distinction, and you are now credentialed as an ICF coach. And for me, I think through this journey, when from the time we met and till today, it's always been of encouragement, support, lean in, and also guide me whenever I needed. And I think, Anu, it is such a privilege knowing you, and continuing to be in that friendship, right? So, in conclusion, just to say that, what we discussed was the importance of perseverance in the journey, in this coaching journey that we have had, the value of support of the community and the cohort, and remember, having a strong support system and being part of the community can make all the difference in really overcoming those challenging moments when you feel like, just, I won't be able to do it and I want to give up. There will be someone who will come up and say, you know what, we are not leaving you behind. We are going to just pull you along, and we are going to offer you whatever support that you need. I think that is the greatest strength and power that we saw in during our journey with this cohort. And as I always say, that as we conclude this session, you know what, I'm asking everybody who's listening today to really reflect on your own journey and identify those areas where you can really build a strong support system, whether it is a training journey, whether it is a coaching journey, whether it is a journey in life itself. uh, we always say that the real independence comes from interdependence, right? The true independence is from interdependence. So, with that thought, I want to really say thank you, Anu, for joining us today. It's such a pleasure knowing you and having this conversation. Thank you very much.
Thank you, JJ, and the feeling is mutual.